Why, hello, YouTube. This is Davian with Light to the Wealth Academy. You can call me Professor Davian. Choose the attire. I'm kind of just doing news and just come across something and I had to share. So we're going to share my screen with you guys right now. Share screen. Okay, here we go. Share. Okay, you guys can see it now. Yes, good. Put this over here in the corner. This is mail.ru. For anybody not familiar with this website, it is a Russian news website. You can compare it to much like probably AOL. Oh, AOL is dead. Let's do MSN. So kind of like MSN, this is the MSN for Russia. This is the United States, Microsoft Service News. This is mail.ru. I guess more like Yahoo. I don't know. Anyways, they have news on this website, and on this site, I will have come across a couple of stories that I found very interesting, and I just had to share. I couldn't just read them and be the only one that knows information. I had to put it out there, or I'm gonna go crazy. Anyways, the first article I want to go over with you was written 3 hours ago by the RBC. I do want to point out that it is currently 1:43 on the East Coast. 10:43 on the West Coast, 1:43 a.m., 10:43 p.m. on the West Coast. And in Russia, time zone, I think it's daytime right now. 17, what the fuck is that? Eastern Standard Time. Moscow Standard Time, it is 8:43. So it's 8 in the morning right now in Russia. And this article came out 3 hours ago. So this article came out at, wow, this guy was up early. Whoever the fuck wrote this one. Shit, 5 o'clock. All right. So 5 o'clock, this guy was writing this article was written. I guess they want people to see it in the morning over there. Oh, 4 hours ago. Wow, there you go. So anyways, the Russian embassy urges US to redirect irrepressible energy. Irrepressible energy? Irrepressible energy. The American authorities recognize the connection between the rise in fuel prices in the United States and the sanctions imposed against Russian energy carriers. The Russian embassy said that diplomatic missions urged the United States to redirect forces to resolve their own problems. International sanctions against Russia are counterproductive, with US officials acknowledging that the restrictive energy measures would lead to instability in the energy markets and higher fuel prices. Excuse me. The Russian embassy said, "We recommend that the ruling circles of America direct their irrepressible energy to resolve their own problems in the United States," the messenger said. Sanctions will be ineffective. They are confident in the diplomatic mission. They said that the strengthening of the Russian currency speaks of the stability of the economy and the financial sector of the country. This is recognized by experts from Western countries themselves, the embassy said. The ruble began to strengthen against the dollar and the euro since mid-March, against the backdrop of statements by Russian leadership that Russian intentions to continue delivering oil and gas abroad in the national currency. After Vladimir Putin signed a corresponding decree at the end of March, the dollar exchange rate reached 83, the euro 87.7. So that means for every Russian dollar, it's 83 or 87.7. Then the Russian currency continued to strengthen. At the end of April, the dollar exchange rate for the first time since November last year fell below 71. So that means that the Russian, even though their economy tanked and was starting to go down because of the sanctions imposed by Joe Biden, their currency has started to strengthen as a result of Vladimir Putin's leadership, because he demands that all countries around the world and in Europe, Japan, around the world, must pay for oil and natural gas and all other assets coming from the country in the Russian native currency, the ruble. So wow, the entire world for the last 80 years since the end of World War II has been trading all assets in dollars. For the first time, Russia is demanding, this actually isn't the first time, there's a couple of other times, but we're not talking about that now. The first time that that you have to pay for shit with the Russian dollar. If you want to get oil, you have to pay with rubles. If if Poland wants to get oil right now and natural gas, they got to pay in the ruble. And with the United States' current sanctions on Russia, they're not allowing countries to do that. So other countries are going to have to do it if they still want to get assets from Russia, because Russia is still a big economy. They give a lot of natural gas around the world. They give a lot of other assets and commodities, palladium, steel, all that comes from Russia. A lot of it comes from Russia. So it's going to have some interesting effects. Anyway, let's go back here. The Russian currency continued to strengthen at the end of April. The dollar exchange rate for the first time since November last year fell below 71. And on May 4th, the first time since March 2020, it fell to 66.6. The euro exchange rate fell, the euro exchange rate during trading fell to 70 to 60, below 70 to 69.8 for the first time since February 2020. So currently the Russian economy has strengthened. Their currency is now, well, on paper, their dollars are still stronger. If you look at other sectors of their economy, clothing sales in Russia fell by almost a quarter. The number of corruptors increased. So a lot of Russian officials are being caught right now. They're being detained. China decided to conduct stress tests on the economy against Kincaid section. So China is also afraid that what America has done to Russia, US will also do to China. And China is looking for ways out of that because they realize they're in a very bad situation. But anyways, in Russia, the boom in sales of used luxury cars. So luxury cars around the world are going up. Car values around the world are going up because dollars are getting weaker around the world. As they print more money and they print more dollars, all the dollars are starting to fall. US dollars are starting to fall. They're less valuable. Russian dollars are less valuable. Euros are less valuable because there's more of them in circulation now as a result of the COVID mass stimulation injection of money into the economies. Okay, let's continue. At the White House during the briefing in early April, they explained the strengthening of the ruble by artificial inflation by the central bank and Russian government, expressing confidence that the Russian current currency rate cannot be considered a real indicator of the state of affairs in the economy. The White House correspondent director Kate Bedingfield then expressed confidence that the sanctions against Russia were working. So this is what the United States is saying to kind of convince us, the American people, that what Joe Biden is doing is working, even though it's not working. I mean, so if you look at the Forex markets, let's go to Forex Factory, actually. If you look at the Forex markets, trades. Here we go. Let's look at Russia. Where is Russia? Okay, this is too long. It's too many. Damn, they removed Russia from here. Because of the war. I gotta go somewhere else to look at the Russian dollar. How's that? Markets. Currencies. I guess we'll go by Europe. Here we go. Russian ruble. Let's look at the chart. See the advanced chart. Okay, so this is what the ruble is currently doing. This is in May. The dollar has been strengthening a lot lately. Even today, so the dollar fell today, and the Russian fell against the dollar. So the Russia fell against the dollar more than the dollar did against Russia. So look, so this is let's see, let's go. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit more. I want to go back before February because that's when the war started. So that's when everything kind of changed. February 24th, right here. Okay. So this is where the US and Russian economy was before Russia invaded Ukraine. Russia invaded Ukraine on the 24th of February. So back here. We didn't really act until like the 28th. That's when we actually enacted the sanctions. Well, the 24th is when we enacted the sanctions, but I guess they didn't really go into effect until here. This is what is shown on the chart. And that's what the jump was. So US, this is Russia, 82 Russian rubles to make $1 US. Then the economy tanked by 90%. That's when Biden was like, oh, look, we have tanked the Russian economy. America is doing good. That was here. Since then after that, this is when Russia, end of the month here. This is when Vladimir Putin said that we're only going to take rubles for our dollars. This is when he started to realize, oh shit, these sanctions are stopping my money flow. It's making my economy crash. It's not letting my shit work. So let's put more power back into the Russian economy. And by doing that by telling all countries that they have to pay in ruble, have to pay for oil in the ruble, that is giving the Russian dollar strength. Currently, the Russian dollar is now more valuable today, May 4th, than it was on February 24th. The Russian dollar is stronger today than before the invasion in Ukraine. So Russia is looking at this as a good thing. That's what they're talking about over here in the article. When it says the 66 points, this is what they're talking about. This is what they're referring to. This chart right here, this is what they are referring to, for those who don't know. This. Okay. Okay, this is what we read. So we read this. This is what we talked about, the artificial inflation. So that's what that's what the United States is trying to say that is going against them. Okay, let's continue with this article. The Kremlin did not agree with the assessment at the time. It is possible to focus on the exchange rate of the ruble, said Dmitry Prevosky as a spokesman for the Russian president. So he's saying that, yo, look at the exchange rate. This is what's real. So, they say this, we say that. They say this, we say that. They say that. They say, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end, you don't know who's really telling the truth. Only thing you can do is check the numbers and see what is true and what's false. Because politicians, one thing we always know, they always lie. In early March, the United States imposed a ban on supply of oil and gas from Russia. President Joe Biden announced this. He pointed out that this decision was supported by representatives of both parties of Congress, Republicans and Democrats. At the same time, the cost of Brent oil exceeded $130 per barrel. And the United States gas prices in the United States broke a record high. A gallon of gas, 3.785 liters, reached $4.17. The last record was set in July 2008 when the price of gas was $4.11. The American president at the end of March called the price increase. The increases on gas prices, Putin's rise in price. So it's really funny. So that's the end of the article. So it ends right there. But it's really funny because Joe Biden did call the rising prices of gas Putin's rise in price. But this is where politicians are so like stupid, I want to say. Joe Biden, right here in the article, and this is also supported in other articles. You can go cross-check this. Joe Biden, in early March, the United States imposed a ban on the supply of oil and gas from Russia. So we're not taking in Russian oil or Russian gas. So if we're not buying the stuff from them, why is the price going up? If they were hiking the prices, then it would make sense why the prices are going up, but they're not hiking the prices. So why the price is going up is because of other policies that Joe Biden has put into place, limiting the amount of gas that is being produced in the United States, reducing the supply, us not having enough supply to supply our allies in a crucial time when we need to supply our allies. Joe Biden has put us in a very bad position for this. Anyways, there's another article I want to go over with you guys too. This one I find even more interesting, and it's on the same website. Japan refused to immediately impose embargo on Russian oil. So while the United States, the European Union, and Japan and all the nations around the world are supposed to be on the United States side of justice, fairness, and righteousness, because we need to defend our brothers in Ukraine against the hostile aggression of Russia. Fucking joke. Because of that, the United States has told all of our allies, stop buying Russian oil and gas. Buy it from us. Or if we don't have enough to supply it, just go without. Don't buy it from them. Well, Japan is refusing to do that. They're like, nah, we're not doing that shit. Japan refused to immediately impose an embargo on the oil from Russia. Japan will not join the ban on the import of Russian oil, warned the country's government. Early in Tokyo, oil from Russia, along with liquefied gas, was classified as a resource for which it was difficult to find another supplier. I wonder why it's difficult to find another supplier at such a crucial time. Japan will not ban Russian oil suppliers due to limited resources, but Tokyo supports measures being introduced. Japanese Prime Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry, please forgive me, sir, Koichi Hagawedu said at the press conference during the visit to the United States, Code of Reports. Japan's resources are limited and it's hard to join the oil embargo right away, Hagawedu said, the reporter. At the same time, the minister noted that Tokyo intends to impose those sanctions that it can afford. So Japan and Tokyo, doing Japan, Japan will impose some embargoes and sanctions on Russia, the ones that they can afford to without actually hurting their economy. That's what they're saying. Hagawa added that the Japanese agreed on the need to increase production of liquefied natural gas to reduce dependence on suppliers from Russia. The ministry previously compiled a list of hard-to-replace resources that the country imports from Russian suppliers. The list includes oil, liquefied natural gas, coal, including coking coal, palladium, and ferroalloys for steel production, resources for the production of semiconductors. As of March, the agency report said Japan depended on Russian oil exports by 3.6%, liquefied natural gas by 8.8%, palladium by 43%, and ferrochromium by 50%. For those of you who don't know, ferrochromium is just used to make steel. At the same time, the Japanese authorities classified that in some cases, it is possible to replace suppliers with alternate materials in production. The total volume of imports from Russia was assessed as small, saying that the refusal to purchase them in Russia will lead to minor consequences in the Japanese economy. As you can see, 3.6% for oil is very low, 8.8% is very low, 43% is quite high, but they said they could find alternate materials. The reason they need palladium is for, like I said, semiconductors, but they also need it for catalytic converters. Catalytic converters go inside of your car and they are what cleans the smoke from becoming toxic when it comes out. Palladium is a very expensive metal for those of you who don't know. Very, very expensive. I mean, the palladium costs more than gold. Look at this. Control C, Control T, Control V, price. All right, price of palladium per ounce is $2,265, and it's up $32 today because the US dollar went down. That's another story. Gold price. Yo, what the heck? Come on, give me the price. What the fuck? Oh, because of my VPN. Gold price today is, I can go to trading view. What's the price of gold today? Gold is almost $1,900, $1,800. Okay, that's the price of gold. Let's go back to this article. Total volume imports is small. Okay, the introduction of oil embargoes against Russia was announced in early May by the head of the European Commission, Yurkova. I'm not really sure who this woman is, but let's check her out real quick. I Googled her because why not? So this woman right here. I don't know how to say her name because she has German name. Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the European Commissions. And her husband is Heiko von der Leyen. And this guy is a German physicist and a member of the Nobel family. So this woman is connected and this man is connected, and they're both very high up in the system. Okay. So she pointed out that the European countries intended to stop deliveries of crude oil within 6 months, and by the end of 2022, completely stop buying oil productions from Russia. However, according to Reuters, the EU ambassadors were unable to reach a consensus on the embargo. The discussions will continue on May 5th. So literally today, the discussions about if they're going to keep buying oil or going to stop buying oil are taking place currently now. It's 8 o'clock in Russia, 9 o'clock in Russia. It is about what, 6 a.m. in UK. It's about 7 a.m. Oh, I guess 8 a.m. now in Germany. So these people are just getting together to meet and talk about this. Meanwhile, everybody in the United States is fucking sleeping because it's 2 a.m. and that's what you do at 2 a.m. in this country. But the whole rest of the world is up. All right. A number of countries have already warned that they will not support the oil embargo against Russia. Hungary will not vote for the EU sanctions package in its current form. Hungary Foreign Minister I'm not gonna try. Said he pointed out that the Baptist does not want the restrictions on the import of crude oil through pipelines. The country's prime minister office added that such a measure would jeopardize energy security. So energy stopping from Russia is not a good thing that the other countries are going to really deal with. All countries for up until this point have been buying oil from Russia. United States is probably one of the only ones to stop, even though I heard Shell gas station said that we're going to continue. I don't know if that's still happening. Are they still buying it? Shell cited that when it bought Russian crude oil at a cheap price shortly after the war began, in response to the outrage, the company apologized and pledged to stop buying oil from Russia. The company said that it cost between $4 and $5 billion to cut ties with the country. Okay, so Russia in the beginning said that they were going to continue buying it, but they had a little bit of backlash, especially going with the rest of the U.S. countries. So they apologized and they stopped buying it. Actually, we'll see it here. Shell, which makes a large portfolio, buys mostly oil from Russia on spot. Individual shipments. Okay, this is old though. It's old. I want to see a new story. These are all old stories. It's not good. Okay. All right. Anyways, those are the 2 stories I have for you guys today. Tell me what you guys think about kind of everything that's going on with the war in Ukraine, with the Russian oil, with US economy. And yeah, please kind of share your feelings and what you guys think about it. If you have any questions about anything I went over today, comments below, let me know. I will respond to you. Yeah, besides that, I wish you guys all a beautiful day. Night, if it's night when you're watching this. And let's see what happens in the EU right now. We have a couple of hours and we're going to find out what the United Unions decides to do. Stop sharing my screen with you guys. Yeah, that's all I got for you. Peace.